ready? You asked for it. It's time. I'm doing a tour of my gecko room. Let's go. You're gonna see the entire gecko tent, how it works. All right, so let's start on the outside of my gecko tent. Over here, we've got our 3D printer. I'll show you what I'm making with that in a little bit. But here is the outside. It's all fully enclosed, sealed, and there are some ports that exchange the air, but when I'm working in here, I usually leave the door open to exchange air. I'm in here enough where it's not an issue. But in here, this is the brains of the operation. This is what controls everything. Here you can see the inside temp, the inside humidity, and the outside humidity. It's beautiful, it's all AI. You've got the different ports up here with different levels based on what it needs, so it's not on and off fully all the time, but sometimes it's just, you know, a slow trickle of heat or a slow trickle of humidity. And I leave the windows open so that there is some residual light, so it's not pitch black, so the geckos actually have something to see when the lights are off. Right now the lights are on because we're gonna go on a tour. So ready? Let's go. And here we go. All right, so this is Gecko Cove. This is the gecko tent. We're gonna work our way from entering to our right, around, and end over there. This is a 10 by 10 tent by AC Infinity. The majority of the components here are also AC Infinity, but I'll be going over that during the tour. So let's start off here. These are my Hatchling 6-quart tub racks. Both of them are from a company called Sea Serpents. And I picked this last one up at Tinley. Each one of these bays holds 45 6-quart tubs. I have modified the tubs. You can actually get these at the Container Store. That's where they purchase them from. So you can order new ones if needed. But what I used to do is just drill a hole into these tubs and hot glue one of these screens on here. So this is sort of the old style. The new style, what I'm gonna probably do is buy new tubs and do this so that they're all uniform and just better functioning. But in here, we've got a larger screen from AJD Reptiles. These are their easy vents. And this here is how I set up most of the tubs. So got some cork bark. I put cypress mulch that I change out quite regularly. It's cheap, it holds enough humidity, and does a really good job of keeping everything clean. We have a 3D printed little hide here. They go underneath there, but it also holds their food nice. I use these silicone bottle caps that I get off Amazon. One for food, one for water. And this little dude is a stunner. I'm gonna miss him when he leaves, but this is a Magnus baby. Just look how covered he is. Absolutely stunning. So that's how these are set up. And right now, anything with a blue little identification tag, this is actually painter's tape, so keep it nice and simple, has a gecko in it, whether it's a grow out that I purchased or one that I have produced myself. Moving over here, another Sea Serpents rack. This one has 16-quart tubs. I had already drilled the holes. I stripped off the screen and put on the same AGD vents. If I could do it again, which I probably will, I'll buy new tubs here and make a larger hole and get different vents. But yeah, that's something that I'm looking at potentially doing. But just like these, just to show you one other thing, is the humidity. These keep humidity fantastic. If you were not in a tent situation, tubs are typically a fantastic way of keeping the humidity high without having to, you know, just make your geckos wet all the time, which is what you don't want to do. So looking in here, what I've done is actually drill holes, because in here it's about 70 to 74% humidity at all times. And I didn't want to have mold issues, so I want more circulation, more venting. And so these, I drilled holes here and in the back, you can see, and I kind of am playing around with how many holes, but that seems to be the perfect amount right now to keep around 70% humidity flowing around with, we'll get to this in a minute, with the fans. So Down here, same situation, just in a 16-quart tub versus a 6-quart tub. So nice little upgrade for them. I just fed this afternoon, so these are the silicone bottle caps. They're great. All I do is once I collect the dirty ones here, I go and I bring that upstairs. I soak it in hot water and some dish soap. Let it sit for an hour or so, and then I use my sprayer to spray out all the old food. It goes right down the drain, throw it in the top of my dishwasher, and they come out sparkling clean, just like this. Always got extra tubs as well, and paper towel, because you never know when you're gonna have a little bit of a mess. We got a place for all the garbage here, so I got my own garbage can that I take out on a weekly basis. Even if it's not full, I don't want food rotting in here and causing any kind of issues. So moving along over here, you can start to see the aesthetics of just the room in general. These tarps were purchased off of Amazon, and I absolutely love them. It really gives a nice kind of jungle feel. I was thinking about doing a beach theme, but I couldn't find the right tarps with the right size and price point, so I went with the best option that I could find, and this was it. So hopefully you guys like it. I even kind of like how in the corner here, it's two different like half trees, but when they come together, it looks like a full tree coming out of the corner. So really like that, some fake hanging plants. And then over here, I got rid of my incubator. I was thinking about buying a new one, but I'm like, why? You know, this place is so stable that I went and just got everything, put it out on the counter. Again, the humidity is around 70% inside here because of the way I have it set up. It gets about 90%, I measure everything. And the eggs love it because they're not wet. I do a raised incubation. So let me start with these. This is what I originally used. I've been using for 2 years. So it's just a deli cup with this plastic insert. You can buy these from Redline Supplies, and they work great. Again, you can use, they come with like a little silica pack to put in the bottom. I use the I think it's the Pangea Super Hatch, or Pashy also I've used. And then I just have the eggs up there. So they're never touching the wet substrate. It's just a elevated, humid environment, and the eggs grow beautifully, and I have a high hatch rate. I wanted a little bit more room now that I'm expanding and having more females, so I bought these on Amazon. They're working great so far. It's the same concept, and these were like 10 bucks on Amazon, so I'll do a full review later on, but so far I'm liking those. I bought this from AC Infinity thinking I was gonna do like a power sprayer. You plug it in, charges. It does a great job with nice fine mist, but if I wanna fill up a water bottle, this thing sucks because the stream is so fine that to fill up like a little tiny cup like this, it's nearly impossible. So I still have the other sprayer. But again, just to do a light mist every so often for them to lick off of the plants, that works really well. But yeah, I've got all the males labeled on here. So you got Nemo, Magnus, Cayman, Sharkbait, and Kraken so far that have had females lay. And I labeled the females, their initials on here. So like Sharkbait is with Seychelles, she's got an S for those. So if the other female that's in with Sharkbait lays and I track their cycle and I know who the mom is, then I can put her name on there too, which is actually Coral this year. So over here, we've got a place to weigh our geckos. It's another way that I keep track of my females, see who lays. But you know, everybody needs a nice scale to weigh their geckos. I use a large deli cup just to kind of zero it out here, have a place for them to be. They seem to stay put more if I have an actual cup for them to be in. Other than that, we've got the area where I take all my photos. Up here, you can see I just have a little circle light. I actually deconstructed this light box. The lights had burnt out, so I ripped off the top, flipped it on its side, and put in this kind of like fake moss felt. Whether I'm taking a picture right here or I'm taking it up here, you'll see in my photos when you look at those, it's usually one of the two, you know, right there. But this is the spot, and I use a Nikon camera. This is new. Stole this from upstairs, got that at Costco. It came with my son's little toy here. So anybody else a big Stitch fan? And then I have a little organizer over here, the painter's tape that I go and make all the labels for that are back there. If you've ever bought a gecko or gotten a gecko from me, it'll usually come with this on the deli cup because it'll have the hatch date and all the parent information on it. Got some chalk markers here, some regular Sharpie markers. Again, these are all chalkboards. So the chalkboard stickers, again, off of Amazon. They're on almost all my grow out and adult enclosures. They're there, they're on here, they're on here. And if I ever need to swap out a container or anything, I can just wipe it off with a little bit of water and then write a new name on there so I know who's in what bin. Really love those. And then just a little spot for random knickknacks, tweezers, stickers, business cards, that kind of stuff. So keeping things nice and organized as much as possible. Moving over here, speaking of organization, actually, no, wait, we're jumping the gun here. Let's go down here. So down here, we have the Like It containers from the Container Store. This is where I will keep individual adults or grow outs. And what I do is I drill a larger 6-inch hole, and I use the AJD vents for these as well. They're super easy to clean, easy to install. And to me, aesthetically, they're the best thing on the market. So I want to make this place look nice, and these help it out. Looking in here, how I have them set up, they pull straight out. What's nice is they kind of lean down and stay in place, which I really like. You can see Bolly's just hanging out here. Come here, girl. Yeah. She's my buddy. Love this girl. Cork bark, places to hide, fake plants, Hobby Lobby special. And then down here, we've got the food and water bowl, same cypress mulch, everything's just the same, but bigger. This has any of my females, once they go into a grow out about this size or larger, I 3D print my own lay boxes here. And what I'll do with these is sometimes I'll have the top on, sometimes I will go and just, you know, leave it off like this. Some girls like, I don't know if they're claustrophobic or what the deal is, but they'll lay more consistently if the top's off, and some girls like the privacy and the darkness. So usually lay at night anyway. One thing I'll do in these and in the other larger enclosures is I'll kind of dig my fingers in the center and make kind of like a donut hole. That way, if they're playing around in here or it's time for them to lay, I know that they've been in the lay box rather than having to dig through it the entire time. So just a little tell for me. All right, back over here, we've got my cart. Love this thing. It's just another place for me to set things down, work on, take pictures. I highly recommend getting a cart. I used it more when I didn't have sort of a smaller room like this, but definitely something that is useful. Keep some knickknacks, things like loops, right? Everybody needs multiple loops. My pens, you know, I even vacuum, so I got little attachments for my vacuum. But yeah, so on here, I also like to decorate it with stickers. I've seen other people do it, and I thought it was a good idea. But if I've bought a gecko from you or just worked with you and you gave me a sticker, or if we work in the future and you give me a sticker, it might end up on here. But I've got just a little shout outs here. J Reptiles, Zeros Geckos, Mr. Gargoyles, Gecko Nerd, Pangea, my buddy John, who I do the podcast with from Goldenrod Gex, AJD Reptiles, Dragonborn Exotics. You got my logo here. Birds and Beasts Pet Shop, where I got my very first gargoyle gecko, Hawaii. Cosmic Exotics, Giselle Geckos, Gecko Vera, Killer Exotics, Firehouse Morphs, Gargoyle Queen, Amriculatus, and Koala Geckos. All of a place so far. There's some other people that I wish I had their stickers, but either I bought a gecko and you didn't send a sticker, or yeah, well, something happened. But anyway, these are what I have so far, and I'll be collecting more. Moving along over here, this is really important. So this is my humidifier. This thing's massive. This is a 5-gallon jug. Fill it up with reverse osmosis RO water. makes it so that this thing doesn't have to be cleaned all the time since it's pure H2O. It stays filled for about 2 weeks when I fill it up. This thing is controlled by the AI system, and what's nice about that, the cord goes up through there and back outside where you saw before, and it's not on full blast. Like right now it's completely off because it's humid in here. And what's nice is that if it just needs a little bit more humidity, it'll kick it on. It has a 1 through 10 rating, and a lot of the system from AC Infinity does that. And it'll just, if it really needs it, it'll blast out a ton of smoke. Maybe I'll cut to a shot of that right now. Yeah, it's super cool how much water can pump into the air when it needs to, but it's smart, so it's not just constantly draining your reservoir. Only does it when it's needed, so this will last a lot longer. If you go on vacation, this is huge. All right, the flooring, let's talk about that. This is actually from the tent. So this tent was made for growing vegetables. And so I grow geckos, but the flooring was just this kind of like catch-all tarp for water. It's actually completely waterproof, really heavy duty material, really thick. And I just reversed it because it was black on the other side. I'm like, that will work for me. I wish it was one piece, but because of the center bar and the bars here, they can't really do that. So I do the best I can with it. I'd like a different flooring solution, but it's not like a deal breaker. It's not the end of the world right now. I'm not tripping over it all the time, even though it looks like I could be, but not really an issue. And it's super easy to vacuum. And again, if I have a spill or I drop a cup of gecko food, super easy just to wipe up. So that's why I don't want like carpet or anything. I actually do have an area rug that's a 10 by 10 underneath this. So this is like soft padding. It's not concrete underneath my feet, which is really nice. I've got this seat that I swivel around, really nice and compact. Got a nice handle for me, kind of a saddle seat. And when I'm bored in here and I just want to look around, I just spin around and around and just get nice and dizzy like I'm 5 years old all over again. It's great. I got storage over here, just knickknacks that I want to utilize but not throw away quite yet, or I put clean food bowl holders in there and then just swap them out when I need to. All right, let's move over here. These are the actual like breeder enclosures for the most part. I've got either a pair or a trio in each one. Everything's labeled. So the male is labeled here. So I got Kraken, Bogey, Sharkbait, Nemo, there's Bermuda there, Cayman, Magnus, nothing in there, Castaway, and Mahe. So really trying to utilize this. What's nice about these enclosures is that they're 18 by 18 by 24, plenty of space for the animals. Beautiful to look at, especially the way I have it kind of filled in. So most of these, you've got tons of cork bark, multiple feeding ledges, one 3D printed, one bought from Amazon. I got my 3D printed top here and lay box. You can see I did the same kind of donut shape indicator to see when they lay. And lots of fake plants, again from Hobby Lobby. One thing I will say is that get the fully plastic plants. Some of the Hobby Lobby or fake plants, if you don't buy them at reptile stores, are fabric, and those will mold really, really quickly, and then you'll be disappointed. But the fully plastic ones like this hold the humidity, do great. I've got things like vines and more cork bark. You want to have things, especially with breeding groups, where the geckos can get away. Like only one gecko can fit down this tube, right? So if someone's trying to get away from Magnus here, if he's being too crazy of a breeder, there he is, the man. He's all fired down, just chilling up there. It's the king of his castle. Then they can get away and they don't have to be bothered. So they need opportunities to separate when needed. But yeah, they're all pretty much that way, nothing too crazy. And I try to use, again, the RO water. I have this spray jug, the pump and spray from Home Depot, and it works great. Fill it up with RO water. What's nice is that with the glass here, if I use RO water, I don't get all the hard water stains where I'm on well. So this glass would be disgusting if I used regular tap water. But yeah, these are great. Moving around here, we've got my heater. This little dude works so well. It is so powerful for its size. It's really compact. It's got this hose that you can move. So if I wanted to put this on the outside of the tent, there's ports where I could go and feed it in from the outside, but I just wanted to have everything in the tent, just less areas for it to, have little leaks and things like that. Again, it's hooked up to the AI system, so it's not running 24/7. It's not even on right now because it's nice and warm in here. And so, yeah, it works really, really well. It's got safety features. It's really well rated for that. I was looking for something super safe because my animals and my kids, this is my house. So if it falls over, if for whatever reason, nothing's really going to be done here to knock it over. But if it does, it has an automatic turn off. So I've got sensors all over this room. So if anything goes wrong, I can shut it off from my phone, which is really nice as well. Newest addition here is another 12 Like It tubs from the Container Store. I liked it so much, I bought more. And actually, I just received a minute ago the AJD vents that I'm going to install in here as well. A little bit different orientation, only 3 rows going up 4, versus on this one, I've got 3 rows with 4 across. So a little bit higher up, you can stack them. That's just the versatility of this system. And then both over here and here, I've got these tops that I actually stole from a rack system that I bought from Costco. It had the metal shell, and then these were the actual shelves. So I was like, I'm not using those anymore. So instead of letting these go to waste, plopped them on top of here. Now I have a kind of a workspace and gives me more room to grow a little bit, which is really nice. Another fake plant. Got the Maui hook here, and then here is an old enclosure that I want to reuse right now. It's just a 12 by 12 by 18, was a bioactive. I got to rebuild the bioactive, but it's still super nice. Has good bones. Eventually I want to put Uris in here. I think it'd be fun to get back into Uris, and this would be a great setup for them. Here in the corner, I've got a beautiful gargoyle painting by Adeline Robinson. She's a fantastic artist, and she also has some really awesome gargoyle geckos that she breeds. So definitely something to check out when you're at your next expo. She's at a lot of them, so go check out her art. She's got amazing art of all different species. And then this is brand new as well. I just put together, I had some mealworms that kind of turned into beetles. I've got a bearded dragon upstairs, and some of my geckos will even take mealworms every so often. It's not going to kill them as long as your gecko's healthy and you're not feeding them exclusively. It's a good source of protein for them. But yeah, definitely a new little venture there. But yeah, other than that, I want to point out these here. I got one here, one there, and one here. These are 9-inch fans. These circulate the air. They're off right now so that you can hear me a lot better. But these will oscillate back and forth, and they're constantly running this room to circulate the air to make sure that nothing's stagnant, because there's nothing worse than a humid, stagnant environment. Actually, behind the tarps too, there's some air exchange ducts that work really well, and you can kind of dial it in based on your system. But I always want enough air circulating in here. And again, they're from AC Infinity. They are controlled by the actual brains of the operation and an app on my phone. Up here, just to make it so it's not, so this is what Mylar is, right? It's this silver reflective stuff. Great if you want to have as much light as possible on your plant. But for me, I tried to reduce that. That's why I put these tarps up. And the ceiling was all Mylar, so I just put this up today. Little starry night. What do you guys think? I kind of like it. And then I had some extra fake plants, so I started putting them up here and here. Yeah, I like it. I apologize for any of the blinding I'm doing, but these lights are also AC Infinity. What's really cool is that they're magnetic. So they just kind of clip right onto the poles here. and installation was super easy, plenty of light. Again, because they're on the same system as everything else, I can go and set a morning and an afternoon routine for them to come on slowly and then turn into dusk and turn off on a timer. So all of these automated things make my life so much easier and so much more predictable for these animals. Everything is controlled by this little probe here. It measures the humidity, the temperature. I have it right in the center so that I get an equal reading for the entire tent, and I have backups ready to go if this ever fails, but so far so good, no issues. Yeah, so this is the Gecko tent. And I definitely don't want to forget, I want to give a huge shout out to James from Gecko Smith. I actually saw a episode of the New Cal Corner where he was on there as a guest explaining how he kept his geckos in a gecko tent. I reached out, asked him a bunch of questions. He gave me a ton of great resources, and this is what happened because of that conversation. So you never know when you're gonna get inspired by someone else in the hobby and just run with it. So he has been a great supporter. I need to have him on my podcast to talk about his tent because, spoiler, he got a 10 by 10 too. So thank you very much. I really appreciate the inspiration. Well, that was it. I love this place. What do you think? Do you think that you would be willing to go and buy a tent, whether it be a 10 by 10 like this, maybe something bigger, maybe something smaller? Is this something that's feasible for most people? I think that something like this makes life a lot easier. After having this for at least a half a year, I'll say there's a few major benefits. The first major benefit is I barely have to mist my geckos. To keep the humidity up, this room runs itself. I just have to make sure that that reservoir is filled up, and really I only have to fill it up because it's such a large reservoir, maybe once every 2 to 3 weeks. That's not bad. But spraying, I'll do periodically as I'm feeding, but I don't spray them and make the enclosure super wet. Just enough for them to maybe lick off the leaves or fill up their water bowls. That's about it. That's a huge thing. So if I miss a day of spraying and I'm just power through and feeding, it's not the end of the world. They're gonna have plenty of humidity and moisture. The other thing is heat. These geckos have very consistent heat. I actually am able to, in the winter when I wanna kind of cool down my females, drop the temperature with just an app, and it can do that for the entire room. Same thing when I want to encourage them to start laying eggs. I can bump up that temperature, raise their metabolism, and they're off to the races. I've actually already gotten 16 eggs this season, which is phenomenal. So these are some of the small things that I think really make this hobby better. When you can find better ways to do it that not only help you as a keeper, but more importantly, help your animals thrive, that's where the money makers are. So the other thing I want to point out is that my geckos tend to be a little bit softer now that I'm in this tent. I attribute that to the humidity. I really think that their skin is really susceptible to drying out quickly, and having the consistent humidity, much like the islands that they're on, right? They're on an island, they're surrounded by water. The humidity in the air, the ocean air is always around them. And when they get into their little micro habitats, they go from maybe 60, 65, 70% humidity into even more humid environments. And that to me is their lay boxes. Those tend to be a little bit more humid just in general to keep them moist. Hey guys, so it's the next day and I totally realized I didn't do an actual outro. So hopefully you guys found that interesting and maybe it inspired you to look at creative ways of keeping your geckos in a healthy and productive manner. If you are inspired to maybe buy a tent for yourself or any of the products that you saw in this video, I will down below put links, some of my Amazon affiliate links. You don't have to use them, but if you want to, feel free to click the links. It'll help out the channel a little bit. And yeah, So really, I gotta give it to James at Gecko Smith again for inspiring me to do this. This has completely changed the way that I work in this hobby, and it is such a time saver. My geckos are healthier. I could not recommend this anymore based on the time that I've been keeping geckos in a tent. So go grab your own gecko tent. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'm happy to answer anything, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys. Hey, if you've enjoyed this video and want to encourage me to make more Gargo of Gecko content, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, share this with a friend, and maybe check out one of the videos right over there. I'll see you next time on Gecko Cove.